Tennessee communities voted for or against alcohol referendums. As far as selling wine in retail food stores, Fentress County was the only county that rejected the referendum, with 51% of the vote voting no. All of the other counties and cities approved the measure. Fentress County and Tazewell also voted on whether to allow retail package stores to sell liquor. Tazewell voted for it by a large margin. Fentress County voted against it with a 51 to 49% vote. Right now on our website, you can find a full recap of local and national election results, plus hear from the big winners across the state. It's all on our website, WBIR.com. We'll also continue to follow this on Fox 43 News this morning.